What is your name? What is your name?
I am Sharon Pakutan, sir.
Sharon. I just call you Sharon.
Okay, sir.
Your age?
I just turned 40 this month, sir.
Okay. Your height and your weight?
My height is 152 cm.
Do you know your weight?
I weigh 48 kilograms.
40?
48, sir.
48. Your marital status?
I'm married, sir.
Married. Are you a single mother or are you still married?
I have my husband, sir.
Okay. How many children are you having?
2, sir.
How old?
11 and 13.
11 and 13. Now, when you go overseas to work, who will look after your children?
It's my husband, sir.
Your husband. So, have you got the consent of your husband?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very important. Are you mentally prepared to go overseas to work? Are you prepared and you won't change your mind? Are you mentally prepared?
I am mentally prepared, sir.
You won't change your mind?
No, sir.
No. Why did you choose Malaysia to go and work? Why?
I choose Malaysia because I believe that most Malaysian employers can speak good English, so it is easy to communicate with them, sir.
Okay. What is your husband's occupation?
My husband's occupation is encoder, sir. Computer encoder.
Encoder. What is the educational level?
Third year college, sir.
Third year college.
Yes, sir.
What course were you taking in the college?
It's education, sir.
I
Bachelor of
see.
Science Education.
Education.
Yes, sir.
So you wanted to become a teacher, is it? When you took up a education course, you wanted to be a
Yes.
teacher, am I right? So what happened? You didn't finish your college? Did
I
you?
didn't finish my
You
course,
didn't
sir.
finish, okay. Now your experiences. What are your experience, especially as a domestic helper?
Yeah, I have experienced a lot in the Philippines and also in Malaysia before,
I
sir.
see. Okay, in the Philippines, where were you working and how many years?
I was working for about almost 10 years when I was still single, sir, until I got married.
I see. In the Philippines?
Yes, sir.
Where was it?
I worked also a merchandiser in a Monterey meat shop. I worked in a laundry shop in my relatives. I also work as a sales clerk in a bake shop, and there's a lot also, sir.
Okay. What about as a domestic helper?
I have experience as domestic helper in Malaysia, sir.
What about in the Philippines? Do you have any experience?
Being a mother of 2, sir, is already an experience, sir, I
Okay.
believe.
So you have the experience with your own kids, so you know how to look after a baby and the kid, because you
Yes.
look after your own baby, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you said that you worked in Malaysia before, right? You have the experience in Malaysia before.
I take care of 2 kids. I cook for them. I clean the house. I do the laundry, the ironing, and sometimes I also tutor the kids. I take care of the dog. I also wash the car sometimes, and I keep the house clean every day.
And the employer in Malaysia is a Chinese, Indian, or Malay?
Chinese, sir.
How big was the family? How many children and how many adults and children were in the house?
The family is composed of 4, sir. The mother, the father, the 2 kids, and 1 dog.
And one what?
1 big dog, sir.
Oh, I see. They have a pet, which is a dog, and sir, mom, and 2 kids. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
How old were the kids?
2 years old and 6 years old.
the 6 years must be going to kindergarten, right? So you
Pardon,
don't
sir?
have, the 6 years old must be going to school, a junior school.
Actually, he's going to school.
So you only look after one kid most of the day. The other one might be going in the morning and coming back in the afternoon. So you
Yes,
look after
sir.
one kid.
Yes, sir.
Is that a big house?
It's a 4-story house, sir.
4-story.
Yes, sir.
What house is that? Is it a terrace house or a bungalow?
Terrace house.
Terrace house, 4-story.
Yes, sir.
Where was it? Where was the 4-story house?
Pardon, sir?
4-story, where was it in Kuala Lumpur? Where?
4-story house, sir.
Yes, I know. Which place? Can you remember which place was that?
Taman Milawati, sir.
Are you sure
Kuala-
that a 4-story house? I can't. As far as I know, there's no 4-story terrace house. The
Yung
most
Taman,
is
sir.
the
Taman
most is
Milawati.
the most is 3-story. I don't think there's any 4-story terrace houses in Taman Malawati. It's only
The fourth
three.
one is
It's only
only-
3-story. 3-story. Isa, dalawa, tatlo. It's 3-story.
Yeah, but I mean the laundry area is the 4th one.
They don't have any 4-story terrace houses there. Okay, never mind. So you look after the 2 children, you do the housework,
Yes.
and mom and sir comes back at what time?
Mom actually sometimes at 5 o'clock and sir at 6 o'clock.
Oh, so they come back very early. I'm sure mom can also assist you. Okay. What about the children? What was your job looking after the children?
I bring them to shower, I cook for them, and I teach their assignment also, sir.
So you were doing the cooking. And what food were you cooking for them?
Actually, they always like me.
You mean pancit? You just cook pancit?
Yes, sir, and chicken curry.
Or you cook curry?
Yes, sir.
What other food do you cook while you are working in the house?
Sometimes they like steamed fish, fried fish, egg, like that, sir.
Do you like cooking?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you are working there, do you have any off days?
No, sir.
No off days. But do you ask the mom and or the sir, to give you a rest?
I did not, sir, because it's in my contract that no day off.
So if I get a family, are you okay if they ask you to work without off days, or if you are very tired? Of course, I will tell the employer to give you a rest. That means give you an off day. But if they need you, are you willing to work without off days?
Yes, sir.
Of course, you work, you'll be compensated.
Yes, sir.
Are you willing to work without a handphone?
Pardon, sir?
Would you like to take a handphone along with you when you go over there to work? Would you be taking a handphone with you, a cell phone?
It's okay if my employer would allow me, sir.
Okay. They will allow you to use the cell phone only after your work, not during working hours. Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
So while you
Yes,
were
sir.
there working for a family in Malaysia, were you using the handphone all the while? Were you having
No,
problem
sir.
with the handphone, with the cell phone?
No, sir.
No. How often do you call back while you were there?
Sometimes twice or 3 times a month I call Philippines.
The handphone, the cell phone, was it kept by the employer, or you yourself is keeping it?
It's my employer, sir.
Or your employer was keeping the cell phone, and they allow you to
Yes.
call twice a week?
twice a month or thrice a month.
Twice a month. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So are you willing to actually work there without having a cell phone with you all the while? We are okay
Yes.
if you just know how to handle the cell phone. Don't abuse it.
Okay,
Can you?
Yes, sir.
And now we have also Indian and Muslim employers, Malay Muslim. So if I get you an Indian employer, are you willing to work for the Indian employer?
Yes, sir.
A Chinese? What about a Chinese employer?
Yes, sir. It's okay, sir.
Malay Muslim?
It's okay, sir.
Okay. Do you know how long is your contract?
2 years, sir.
2 years, So while you are working in Malaysia, that was from what year to what year? 2016 to 2017. You have actually worked for about 7 months. Why didn't you finish your contract?
Because I got sick, sir.
Huh?
It was overwork, sir.
So you were overworked while you were working in Malaysia, and that is the reason why you returned to the Philippines. Is that
Yes,
the
sir.
reason? You were overworked.
Yes, I and my employer agree that I need to go home, sir.
What? Your employer said that you need to go home. Your employer
Yes.
said that, or you said, or your agent said? Who said that?
It's between me, my employer, and my agency. Both of us agreed, sir, because I cannot do my work already.
And your employer agree that you go home,
Yes, sir, because I am sick already.
and your employer not willing to give you less work, so they insist that you must work as what you have been doing.
She asked me to have rest, but it cannot be. How do you call this one? The doctor said I need to go home because all day long they are out of the house, sir, so I still need to take care of the kids, so I cannot have rest.
But you told me the employer comes back around 5 to 6 o'clock, so that is normal. It's not all day long. They go work in the morning, come back
It's
5 or
not
6
so-
o'clock. It's normal. I know some employers come back at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So that is something, not so normal. But your employer come back at 5 or 6 o'clock. Why do you say that, Why?
No, my employer is not helping me in housework, sir, because they also have paperwork at home.
What was the job of your employer? Do you know?
Our business, sir, they're having business.
They're having business, and they come
Yes,
back
sir.
5 or 6 o'clock. Okay. So your employer agree that you go back.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you ask for a transfer?
Pardon, sir?
Why didn't you ask for a transfer to another employer?
Because my body refuses to work already, sir. I can no longer work. I need to rest for a month or 2 months.
Okay. So, is your body okay now? Is your body
Yes.
willing to work now? Are you prepared or mentally prepared to work now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any question you want to ask me?
No, sir.
Now, sometimes the employer, most employers has a small family. They go to work, the children goes to school. Are you afraid to be alone in the house?
No, sir.
No. Are you willing to obey to the rules and regulations of the employer?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any friends or relatives in Malaysia, especially in Kuala Lumpur?
No, sir.
No. Can you promise that you will not bring any friends to the house?
Yes, sir. I promise.
Can. Now, if the employer is a vegetarian, are you prepared to eat the vegetarian food like what the employer is eating? Are you okay with
Yes.
that? Yes.
Yes.
What if the employer has a pet in the house, like a dog? Are you willing to look after, feed the dog, or even bathe the dog? Do you think you can?
I did already that, sir.
You can. What about electrical appliances? Do you know how to use most of the electrical appliances, like washing machine, rice cooker, microwave oven? Do you know how to use them?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you afraid of height? Let's say you might have to climb up a small
No.
ladder. No. Okay. Now, I have got families who are looking for domestic helpers to look after children. Let's say if the family has children, 2 kids or 3 kids, are you willing to work for that family?
Yes, sir. As long as they don't have children below 5 years old, sir.
So you are not willing to look after children below 5?
Yes, sir.
Why is that you are not willing to look after children below 5? What is the reason?
Because I believe that's the reason why I was overworked, sir. Because I keep carrying the kid to put him sleep.
So in other words, you are paranoid actually with child that is below 5 years old. It doesn't mean that the family is like that, every family is like that. So just remember that. For me, I will definitely, don't allow you to be overworked. We will also tell the employer. We will give you the phone number. We'll give you the contact. So the other family was having a kid that is 2 years old. Is that the 2 years old kid that is the one that is draining your energy?
Yes, sir. I think.
Yes. Okay. What about baby? Do you think you look after baby?
How old, sir? Below 1 year old?
Yeah,
Like that,
baby
sir?
is below
It's
1 year
okay,
old.
sir.
Baby is below 1 year old.
Yes, sir.
And what about elderly person or maybe like invalid, and they need your help because they are very weak? Do you think you can look after that, the elderly person? Elderly person, do you think you can do the job?
Elderly person, yes, sir.
Can. What about invalid? Do you think you look after an invalid? You need to push the wheelchair, and you need to take shower for the invalid, change diaper. Do you think you can do the job?
Just woman, sir.
Just what?
Woman, sir. Woman.
Oh, I see. Female. Is that what you mean? Okay. Okay, I think that's okay. So you don't have anything to ask me? Is there any question that you want to find out, and anything that you want to ask me?
No more, sir.
No.